Well, hi there. How are you feeling? Hmm. That is understandable, especially after this previous week. Thought you deserved to have a little extra time to recover. You're very welcome. And that being said, are you excited? Actually, I shouldn't even ask. I have a very strong feeling that you're excited for this last week here with us. Not only are you going to be leaving to go back home at the end of the week with knowledge and skills to assist other greeters at Heaven's Gate, but you'll also be spending this final week in the final and obviously easiest department. Acceptance, correct? Oh, don't pretend like you're going to miss me and you're going to miss this place. You might down the road, but people's inner thoughts can't escape me. Nobody's can. And I know for a fact that you are just looking forward to going back home. Well, I appreciate the sweet sentiment nonetheless. However, just because this is the easiest department emotionally for many, especially after the last one, it doesn't mean there's not going to be any work to do. If anything, logistically, acceptance has the most paperwork to do. How? How do you think? Just take a guess. Mm. Mm. Well, you're close. Somewhat. But that does mean you're quite observant, even if your conclusions weren't 100%. Yes. We run very much like a clinic here. My realm is quite different from yours. And, of course, down below as well. In the pits of hell and all that. We are the middle. And our job, we sort of run a little like a hospital or a clinic. The souls that are lost and come to us, they're sick like patients. They become our patients. And our job is to help them, heal them, and prepare them for the next step of their existence. For normal doctors in them, typically one would think that exactly. But of course we are just a little different. But the concept is the same. So that means in acceptance, a lot of it is unfortunately going to be reading. As I'm sure you've noticed throughout the past month. We carry clipboards with us, I know. Very mortal, very school booky, very old school, very stylish. We use this to keep track of all the souls that are with us in our realm. And with these boards, We write the patient's name, their age, the date of entry, and of course the departments that they are meant to go to when they enter. Yes. So that means when it's time for them to leave our realm and go home to their afterlife, either with you or with the others, there's going to be some paperwork. Oh, don't be too sad. It's not going to be that difficult. It's mostly just checking boxes and saying whether or not they were completely ready. How quickly you saw the adjustment. And all you need to do to see that is by looking at the dates I almost said student, that's you. The patient transferred from one department to another. Yeah, no, it really isn't difficult. It's just, as most would say, a little time consuming. Well, it's to make sure none of the poor souls who come here ever get lost, to the point to where they don't leave. Or, if they do, we don't keep track of it and think that we might have lost a soul in my realm. This place is not just this place that we're in, the clinic, the departments. No. The realm that we are in is way larger, more mysterious, and full of unpredictability outside of the walls that you are in right now. Exactly. The last thing we need is a lost soul to find their way out there. And as equally as anxiety-inducing, the last thing we would want is for someone, one of mine, to worry about a soul who may have escaped and go out to try and find them when in reality, someone just didn't finish the paperwork. No. Fortunately, any soul that has somehow found their way out of these walls didn't stray too far. And those instances are few and very, very far between. Indeed, I agree with you. It is good, though, to keep a record of these things, and that is exactly why I do it. Why we all do it. So, that being said, Department of Acceptance is going to be a tiring one, but a good one nonetheless. There will be, I will say, a little bit of tension, potentially. It's possible. Because just because someone has moved on from our realm does not automatically mean they will be going home with you in heaven. Not all souls here will go through those gates. Some are meant to go down below. You think that this realm is meant for only the good. What is good, anyway? We work with everyone. The good, the bad, the ugly, the immoral, the beautiful. Everybody is the same here, because everybody faces the same reality here. It doesn't matter what their souls are. The fact that they have a soul is enough for us to care. Mm-hmm. Exactly. Of course. This is in my system. Caring for others, while also making sure they are prepared for the next steps. Speaking of, these will be your next steps. Once we enter department, there will be a spot very obviously full of clipboards and pens. You're going to be using those as your main tools. When you go speak to a soul in their space, it will be much easier for you to ask them if they're ready to move forward and to move on. There will still be some who are hesitant, but that is because the acceptance department, as you will see, is a little brighter and a little, how shall we say, comfortable? Think of it as being the cozy little space that you find yourself in before you take a big leap of faith to do something risky with a very high potential and a very potential high reward. It's still scary for people to move forward, but in the department of acceptance, they are more willing to face it. At that point, it's just the rest of themselves ready to move on. Well, seeing as I was never mortal myself, I can only imagine it involves things like memories, names, people. I'm sure especially if they saw someone close to them. And if that person that was close to them did not end up going in the same direction that they will, wouldn't you be a little bit hesitant too? One can only hope, right? But hey, once you get in, you are going to go through the paperworks, sign them out, wish them the best, and if they're not quite ready, exactly. Our space is not exactly short of rooms and private locations. We are much vaster. That's not a good phrase. We are much more vast than your realm, or even the mortal realm. So we will never be lacking when it comes to space. Remember, though, these are still people, souls. Treat them with respect, patience, and kindness, and they will open up to you if they didn't right away. Now, with all that being said, are you ready to go? Accept isn't going to be able to function on its own. It still needs us, the guides. Fantastic. Alright, once again, through those doors. Remember the clipboard and pen, and report back to me at the end of the shift.